Welcome. Let's jump straight into this explainer. We're going to uncover a step-by-step system from Travul.org to help you literally stop wasting your savings and instead turn it into real investing. And you know what's so cool about this blueprint? It actually works even if you're starting with just 500 bucks. I am absolutely pumped to walk you through this today because it completely flips the script on how we traditionally think about storing our money, trading those tired, outdated habits for a real, actionable path to building actual wealth. But first, I've got a slightly uncomfortable question for you about that money you think you've got safely tucked away in the bank. How does it really feel knowing your hard-earned savings is just quietly disappearing every single month? Especially when you feel like you're doing everything quote-unquote right. You go to work, you diligently pay your bills, you put a little something in your savings account, but deep down, something still feels totally off, doesn't it? Well, here is part one, the silent wealth thief. To figure out exactly why you're feeling that way, we first need to expose this invisible villain operating in your financial life right now. It works completely in the background. You never see a deduction line for it on your monthly bank statement, and honestly, that's exactly what makes it so incredibly dangerous to your future. The core problem we're dealing with all comes down to basic math. Right now, in 2026, your average traditional savings account pays out a completely pitiful 0.5% yield. Meanwhile, inflation, the rising cost of literally everything, is devouring your cash at a staggering rate of 3.5%. That massive gap right there, that is exactly where your wealth is vanishing into thin air. Let's put a real, tangible dollar amount on that, just to put things into perspective. For every $10,000 sitting idle in your regular bank account, you're basically guaranteeing a loss of over $300 in real buying power every single year. So you aren't actually saving money by leaving it there. You're really just slowly going broke safely. This whole dynamic exposes three brutal traps that keep most of us totally stuck. First, like we just saw, inflation is actively stealing your money's value. Second, there's lifestyle creep. You know how it goes. You get a raise, and suddenly you just spend more, eating up all that extra cash. And third, the banks pay you absolute peanuts to hold your money. But then they turn right around and lend your cash out to other people at 10 to 20% interest rates. They're literally using your money to build their wealth, not yours. The math here is genuinely sobering. If you just keep doing what you're doing, your savings will buy 30 to 40% less in 10 years than it does today. Just let that sink in for a second. Losing almost half of your purchasing power over a single decade, that is not saving. That's financial suicide. But hey, there is absolutely a way out of this trap. When we flip the script and move away from the completely exhausting reality of being a traditional saver, we unlock the ultimate freedom of the modern investor. Making that shift is what creates real financial freedom. We're talking about generating passive income that can actually replace your paycheck. It opens the door to early retirement instead of just grinding away until you're 65, all while building a lasting legacy for your family. And if you're thinking, sure, but I need a massive new stream of income to do this, you really don't. Just look at Sarah's story from the source material. Sarah had $8,000 just rotting away in a regular savings account. She decided to switch systems. In just 7 years, that money grew to over $18,000. No joke, and she didn't add a single extra penny. She'd be exact same income, but she totally changed her future just by reallocating her funds. All right, so here is the two-bucket system for safety and growth. Let's dive right into this stupidly simple framework that makes transformations like Sarah's possible for you. It cuts through all that confusing financial jargon you usually hear and gives you an incredibly clear, actionable path to follow. Bucket number one is your safety bucket. This is your absolute first priority. This is strictly your life happens money. We're talking 3 to 6 months of essential bills for real emergencies. A massive medical bill, the car breaks down, or a sudden job loss. The key here is keeping it safe and liquid, but parked in a high-yield savings account. Right now, those are paying around 4 to 5%, so at the very least, it's actually fighting back against inflation. Okay, so once bucket one is full, everything else immediately funnels into bucket two. This is your growth bucket. Think of this as your rocket ship. This is where real investing happens. You use low-cost index funds or ETFs, something like VOO, which just tracks the top 500 US companies, to really grow your wealth. And unlike your standard bank, these funds historically return about 7 to 10% over time. So how do you actually do this today? Here are your exact steps. Step 1, sit down and calculate your 3 to 6 months of essentials. Step 2, open that high-yield savings account right now, today. Step 3, automate your transfers. You absolutely have to pay yourself first before you even get the chance to spend it. And step 4, take whatever is left over and invest it into those broad index funds. And now we get to the absolute best part of this entire explainer, the secret weapon, compound interest. This is literally free money earning more free money on top of itself. It is the absolute game-changing mechanism that completely rewires your financial trajectory. To really see this in action, imagine you start with a base of $10,000. Then you commit to adding just $300 a month, assuming an 8% average return. By year 10, your wealth rockets to nearly $75,000. Fast forward to year 20, it literally explodes to over $200,000. This is what it looks like when your money finally starts doing the heavy lifting for you. A super handy mental model to wrap your head around this is the Rule of 72. It's a really simple formula proving that at an 8% average return, your invested money effortlessly doubles every 9 years. Because of this, starting early means time is basically your biggest investor. But hey, remember, even if you are starting at age 40, the math proves you still have tons of power to completely transform your future. If you want more guidance on this exact wealth-building blueprint, you can absolutely connect directly with the creators of today's source material. Reach out to Travul.org through their website, shoot them an email, call them, or just drop them a DM on their social channels. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on. Are you going to let your hard-earned money just sit idle and quietly disappear? Or are you finally ready to stop wasting your savings and step up as a real investor today? The entire system is right there waiting for you. The choice is yours. You've totally got this.